Hi everybody, Steve Griffiths here, developer of the MTPredictor software program. In this video I'd like to do another example of how to use different time frames, in other words the larger degree trend, to help, in this case, manage a trade on a Forex chart. The chart I'd like to look at is on the euro against the dollar. This is a 15-minute chart of the euro against the dollar using e-signal data from FXCM. As you can see, we had a TS4 automatic buy setup here. It was in the direction of the STF being blue, therefore indicating a larger degree uptrend. That is why we look to take long signals and not the prior DP sell. So in this case, let's have a look at this TS4 buy setup. Let's put the analysis on. Again, this is very easy. Right mouse click, select automatic setup, click on the blue buy reversal bar, which incidentally was the actual very bar of the low of the corrective low here. So it had you long right from this low bar here. The initial target for this trade was at the opposing decision point, which is here. Our position sizing allowed us to come out with 2.6R profit, which is a good trade. However, as we can see, the euro did indeed rally a bit further. So I want to look at how to use the larger degree trend. In this case, on the 15-minute chart, it would be the 60-minute chart, to look to manage the trade a little bit, or allow it to run a little bit further. If I now go to the 60-minute chart, which is this one here, and I go back to where this TS4 buy setup was triggered, which was here, I want to show you how you can use some of the leading tools in MTPredictor, in this case our decision point tool, to give you resistance and support areas on the chart in advance. Now that's the important part, is they are on the chart in advance. In other words, they are leading indicators. So to this, let's go to advanced chart analysis. We'll put our decision point on the chart. Again, this is very easy. As it says, we click on choose swing high or low, then we choose a pivot to project from. Now for this, because the market is an uptrend, we go to the last major swing high, which is back here, and we just simply click on that high. And as you can see, this puts this decision point out at the 144.60, well, around here, these levels here. So the 144.40 or 144.37 up to 144.82. So this broad area is projected in advance. Just remember that. So the initial target here would be at 144.35. So if we go back to the 15-minute chart and drag the chart back to when we were actually in this trade, you can see that if we're expecting the market to come up to the 144.37 area, which is up around here, would we really want to come out at this position here just at 143.40? So it's a lot lower level. Well, we wouldn't. So let's put the same DP on again. Let's scroll this 15-minute chart, go back to the last major pivot, which is here, which is the same pivot we had on the I'll just zoom in a bit, which is the same pivot we had on the 60-minute chart. If I just scrunch everything up a bit, you can see I clicked on this pivot here. It then gave our decision point again on the chart in advance. That's the important part. So they're leading indicators. So if I scroll this across and I'll take it back to just around there, I'll just drag the DP across a bit, zoom the chart in a bit like this, and now we'll go forward. You can see that when we reach this level, here, we can see that this decision point is still a lot further up. In other words, it's a lot higher. So the question being is, do we really want to come out at this level here when we know that we have a larger degree target on the higher time frame up at this level here? Well, no, we don't. Or at the very least, you want to try and take some of your lots and actually run them a little bit further. So let's see what happens. If I scroll the chart forward, to zoom up a bit so you can see it a bit better, up to real-time data as we've got at the moment, you can see that the market did indeed rally up to this high, and in fact this nailed the very high for the euro. You can see that since that decision point the market has then backed off and now is starting to decline. So if we now put the risk reward on at that higher target, again this is easy. We have to do 3 mouse clicks, entry, stop and target. So click on the bar of entry, bar of the initial stop, which is again this low bar. Even if we come out at the bottom of this target, which was our 143 or 144, 30, 35, 37 area, around about there. See if I can get that a little bit closer. Around about this level here, can you see even at coming out at this target here, which we had on our chart in advance, that's the important point. This target was on the chart before the market even got there. It allowed you to run this trade a lot further than the initial target on the 15-minute chart. So let's have a look at the result. Well, we already know that we've been using correct position sizing. This keeps our risk small under control. So by doing this, the profit at this target here was actually 7.3R, or 7.3 times the initial risk unit. Or look, in terms of dollars, you were risking approximately $400, which is 2% on our sample $20,000 account. So for a $400 risk, you would have actually returned $2,900, well, almost $3,000. So for a $400 risk, this trade would have given you back $2,900, or 7.3 times that initial risk. So an absolutely brilliant trade. But the reason for the video is to show how not only do we have an automatic buy setup here on the 15-minute chart, but by using the 60-minute chart, which was our higher time frame, it allowed us to put this decision point target on our chart before the market even got there. Remember, we clicked on a pivot back here, and that has allowed us to project in advance this future resistance level, which, as you can see, tagged the high on the euro beautifully before we're now declining. So as such, this gave us the absolutely best place to come out on our 15-minute chart, which is what we did here. And as you can see, we were coming in on the buy setup from the very bar of the low to come out at what was pretty much the high of this move for a lovely plus 7.3R. So a great example of how to use multiple time frame analysis, in other words the higher time frame, when you're trading on Forex charts. In this example, a TS4 buy on a 15-minute euro with the 60-minute euro as the higher time frame. So all in all, an absolutely brilliant trade and a great example of using the tools in MTPredictor on Forex.